You know that feeling, right? It's the end of a long week, you look at your calendar, and all you can think is, I just need everyone to go away for a little while. If you've ever secretly felt a wave of relief when plans get canceled, you're in the right place. We're going to dive into why that deep craving for solitude isn't some kind of character flaw. It's actually a fundamental need, and it's backed by science. Just let that sink in for a second. This question, it totally flips the script on a huge misunderstanding about people who genuinely enjoy their own company. It changes the conversation from, what's wrong with me, to what does my brain actually need right now? It's not about running away from people, it's about running towards a different kind of internal quiet. And yeah, here's the big problem. Society has a word for this, and it is not a compliment. The second you choose a quiet night on the couch over a loud party, you might hear that word. Or worse, you might even think it about yourself. Antisocial. But that label, it's not just wrong, it is completely missing the point of what's really happening inside your head. So let's break this down. On one side, you have the myth, which is all about how it looks from the outside. People assume you must hate people, or you're rude, or just plain awkward. But the reality, that's all about what's going on internally. It has nothing to do with disliking people. It's about needing to recharge your batteries. It's about having a nervous system that just gets overwhelmed by too much noise and activity. And often, it's about valuing really deep, meaningful connections over a room full of small talk. Okay, so if the whole antisocial thing is a total myth, what's the real story? What is the science behind that powerful, undeniable urge to just be by yourself for a while? Let's get into the psychology of it. The first big concept we need to talk about is something called social burnout. And yep, it's a real thing. Think of it like any other kind of burnout. It's a state of complete mental fatigue where your brain has just had enough. After too much socializing, your brain literally starts to connect being around people, even people you absolutely love, with feeling exhausted. And it sends you a very clear signal. You need to retreat. You need to recharge. And that really gets to the core of it. The best way to think about this is like your phone battery. Every single conversation, every meeting, every little interaction, it drains that battery just a little bit. Now, for some people, that battery is huge. For others, it's a bit smaller. But for every single one of us, it eventually runs low and needs to be plugged in. Solitude, that's your charger. You're not turning your back on the world. You're just plugging yourself in. This brings up a super important question, though. We all know that person who's like a social energizer bunny, right? They can just go and go and go. Meanwhile, you might feel totally wiped out after just one party. So what's the deal with that difference? Is it just your mood, or is there something, deeper going on? Well, for a lot of us, this is the answer. It's a core personality trait. Psychologists actually have a name for it: high privacy orientation. And this isn't a choice, and it's definitely not a flaw. It's a fundamental, wired-in part of who you are. It just means that you have a powerful, built-in need for solitude to be at your best. It's how you process the world, how you work through complicated ideas, and how you restore your energy. So when someone with this trait goes off to be alone, they're not just staring at a wall. They're actively doing really important work. Time alone literally calms the nervous system down. It gives the brain the quiet space it needs to sort through all the complex thoughts from the day. It's what actually restores that drained mental energy. And maybe most importantly, it's where you can actually hear your own thoughts and build real self-awareness. Okay, so let's tie all of this together. It's really time to throw that old, unhelpful, antisocial label straight into the trash. Now that we know the science, we can look at this with a much more accurate and, frankly, a much kinder lens. Here's the bottom line. You are not antisocial. Your nervous system simply requires space to calm down and process everything. It's a biological need, just like hunger or sleep. It's not a personal failing. Listening to that need isn't rude. It's essential self-care. So the next time you feel that pull to be alone, remember, you're not pushing the world away. You are giving your brain exactly what it needs to come back and be your best self. Just think, what would change if we all started seeing the need for solitude not as a rejection, but as a necessary and even powerful recharge?